What is up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie, Mel, back again on my Soapbox channel to continue the conversation around the power of your subconscious mind, written by Joseph Murphy. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I have recently kind of went through my storage and found some things that I loved and missed. So I'm going to start doing these me and me affirmation cards. I got this at a market one day, so I think I'm going to start every video, no matter what kind, with an affirmation. So I'm shuffling them right now, not really looking, trying to kind of loosen them up. It's been a while, so I don't even remember most of them. Okay, so I got do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. And this is the illustration, just so you guys can get a good look at the card. Affirmation: I am worthy of happiness under my own accord. Reminder: I can try new things even if it means doing them alone. Pick up a new hobby you have been thinking about trying and don't tell anyone about it. So actually, I feel like this card is very important for me because I feel like I went through a lot last week with kind of feeling a little unsupported in some of the things that I wanted to try, because I feel like it's comforting for me to always try to include other people in doing things. And ultimately, I came to the decision that I have to be strong enough to do things on my own, whether other people are interested in it or not, and kind of just forge my own path and become more confident in doing it for myself. So I feel like this is super appropriate, and I'm just happy that I pulled this card today for myself. And if you feel like it applies for you, definitely apply the practice of picking up a new hobby you have been thinking about trying and don't tell anyone about it. I feel like this also kind of applies to this series. If I could be totally honest with you guys, just starting off this series of doing the books, I know it might not be the most exciting thing to everyone, especially the people that have been following me previously, which I feel like kind of reflects in the numbers. But I'm just hoping that if I continue to share things that I'm passionate about and keep showing up for myself, even if it is kind of just like me alone, like not really getting much engagement at times, like if I just keep showing up and doing what I feel like is authentic to me, I will find people who are interested in the things that I'm interested in. So let me turn on this air. I'm gonna turn on the air. So whatever it is, just whatever you want to do in life, you can do it, whether it's with yourself, whether you're alone. And I really like this. Give the video a thumbs up if you like starting the videos off with affirmation cards, okay? So today we are on chapter 5, mental healings in modern times. So last week, chapter 4 was healing in ancient times. I know I wasn't able to fully put it in the title, so I'm just specifying now the difference between last week and this week. So think and play independently of traditional methods. Know that there is always an answer and a solution to every problem. So I just want to start off by elaborating on that. I think that sometimes we could get so caught up in our way of thinking and our limited perception of like things, why they're happening and how they're going to change, that we don't always like just blindly state that there is a solution to every problem, no matter whether it seems like there is or not. There is a solution to every problem. And I think just being able to believe that and even affirm that to yourself in hard times, that it could have a great impact on your life and like helping you to just have more peace about where you are in whatever you're going through, whatever you're trying to achieve in the journey on the way to that. Okay. Chapter 5, mental healings. Okay. What is it that heals? Where is the healing power? How can it be put into practical use? These are vital questions of deep concern to all of us. To all of them, the answer is the same. This healing power is in the subconscious mind of every person. A changed mental attitude on the part of the sick person releases the healing power. So this particular book, which I feel like is one of the weaknesses of the book, I feel like it focuses a lot on like health, but it really can be applied to anything in life. So not just healing the body, it could be healing a relationship, it could be healing your relationship to anything. So I'm just going to say relationship to anything, because we have a relationship with everything. We have a relationship with every object that we have, that we own and possess. I have a relationship with this coconut oil. Every single day I use this coconut oil to oil pull, and I have this kind of, healthy relationship with coconut oil. Some people have a relationship to alcohol or drugs or substances, and depending on how you choose to go about your relationship with this thing, this external thing, it could determine whether it's good or bad for you, so you have a relationship to other people. Sometimes we go through things, and I know me specifically, I can be a confrontational person. So sometimes that can manifest in different ways and have different outcomes in my relationships. And there have been times where I didn't think that I would be able to be on good terms with certain people again, whether it was the fault of them or me. And I have focused on different things. I know I always use my dad as an example, but for example, I'm still in the process of seeing that relationship different and curating a different outcome with that relationship and healing that relationship. So whatever your relationship is that you're focused on in this season of your life, just know that if things are not going how you want them to go, there is the power to heal. And if things are going well, you also still have the ability to make things even better. So I don't always want to just assume that things are going wrong in your life. Sometimes I don't like on YouTube when people just assume that things are going bad just because you're watching the video. Sometimes you just want to maybe improve something, and that is also possible with these methods, okay? So let's move on to the next part. So, one process of healing. There's only one universal healing principle operating through everything. We can consciously direct it to bless ourselves in countless ways. There are many different approaches, techniques, and methods in using the universal power. But there is only one process of healing, which is faith. For according to your faith, it is done unto you. So faith is not just something that, we hear in the Bible. Faith is really just about being able to focus on the outcome that you want and denying any other outcome. So let's say if you are trying to manifest $10, keep it simple. You can manifest, the way that you can show having faith that you are going to receive that $10 is by knowing no matter what, that $10 is going to come about. So that means also denying any thoughts as much as you can that come up for you in your conscious mind, which is the mind that we operate with mostly while we're awake. Whenever it comes up in your mind that maybe you're not going to receive that $10, you need to refocus yourself back to, actually, I am going to receive that $10. Even if it looks like you're not, even if it's 11:59 going into 12 a.m., still having that faith to focus on your outcome. And you know what? Sometimes you're not always going to get the things that you want in the time span that you want. It's possible. It can happen. But it's about, regardless of what it looks like, knowing that $10 is going to show up for you because you said that you were going to have that $10. So I feel like sometimes having timelines can be problematic. I think sometimes it can help if you believe that timeline. Sometimes I feel like timelines can be a hindrance because I think that we can objectively have a certain time in mind that we think that something is going to take. So if you have in your mind that it's going to take you a week to earn this $10, then most likely your timeline is going to match up with that. So if you know in your mind that you have that feeling, it might have a counter effect for you to say, I'm going to have this $10 in 10 minutes. It's going to come to me in 10 minutes. Now, if you have the faith to believe in that timeline and the outcome, then it's possible for you. But if you only have faith, if you only have enough faith to believe in the outcome, always just believe in the outcome and try to detach from the time it's going to take altogether, because I feel like that helps, because it takes off the pressure. It takes off the need for you to keep looking for this. Is this working? Is this working? Just know. Faith is about just knowing. It's about denying the reality that's in front of you and deciding that you're going to have a new outcome, even if your past experiences have shown you otherwise, okay? So that's what faith is to me. The law of belief. All religions of the world present forms of belief, and these beliefs are explained in many ways. The law of life is belief. What do you believe about yourself, life, and the universe? Whatever you pray for in faith, you shall receive. So whatever you believe, whatever you have faith in, whatever you have that continuous belief in, you will receive. Belief is a thought in your mind that causes the power of your subconscious to be disturbed, distributed into all phases of your life according to your thinking habits. You must realize that when the Bible speaks of belief, it is not talking about your belief in some ritual, ceremony, form, institution, or formula. It is talking about belief itself. The belief of your mind is simply the thought of your mind. So to simplify what a belief is, it's just your general thought about something. So going back to this example of the $10, do you have a general belief that it's possible for you to acquire this $10? And if you have that belief and you have that thought that, yeah, I'm going to have $10, that's a thought. And a repeated thought becomes a belief. So sometimes when you're looking to create something new, you're not going to be able to do it right away, because sometimes it takes multiple thoughts to get enough momentum, especially if you haven't thought that thought before, or you never believed that about yourself or the situation. It might take continuous repetition on your end of that thought to make a concrete belief that is going to produce outcomes. Because luckily for us, you don't have to, you could think something a couple times and it won't come to pass. And that's the beauty of the conscious mind having reasoning. So I don't think that it's a bad thing that if you want to believe something new, if you object to it at first, because you don't want to be so impressionable to anything that you are manifesting both good and bad things. Like, you know, that's why it's like, you don't have to 100% always have the best thoughts and have the best beliefs for you to still have a majority positive outcome in the things that you're manifesting, because we have the gift of the conscious mind. Like, appreciate your conscious mind for it being able to, you know, try to protect you. Think of your conscious mind as a protector. It is like the fence that is protecting your garden, which is the subconscious mind, because you don't want just anything to be able to impress on your subconscious mind. Can you just imagine us like being so bombarded with everything, whether it be like through social media, through ads that we see constantly, whether it's a billboard? You don't want to be impressionable, and everything that we see and think you don't want to believe. Like, you know, even thoughts, like random thoughts can come into your mind, but you don't have to accept them as true. And I think that that's the difference between what manifests and what doesn't, is when you're like accepting that something is true. So always remember that you don't have to accept things that are being said to you. And I take this as deep as, even if someone says something and we're in conversation and someone says something like that I don't believe, I don't have to say it out loud, but in my mind, I will just go ahead and deny that. Like, oh, da-da-da. If it's something negative, I will just deny that for myself. I don't believe that. You know, there's something that I found, what is her name? She's like a super well-known in like the manifesting and like positive thinking space. Older white woman. She's passed now, but she used to say, when people would say something that she didn't believe, in her mind, she would say, that might be true for you, but it's not true for me. And it's not about being rude or like pretentious, but it's just simply choosing for yourself, what do you want? Like, and if what you want is different from other people, then be okay with clarifying that for yourself and denying those things and rejecting those beliefs that you don't want to believe and you don't want to be a part of what manifests in your life. So if you're trying to manifest a relationship and everybody that you're around and all the content that you're taking in is saying that people of the opposite sex or even the same sex are trash and they're going to do this and that for you and you can't trust them, you can in your mind deny that and say that might be true for them, but that's not true for me. That may be true for some people, but that's not going to be my situation. And that you're not naive to do that. You're actually very smart in protecting your best interest. And that's what all this is about. Protecting your best interest and believing in things that are only good as much as you can. Next, this is just following up greatly. Okay. It is foolish to believe in something that will hurt or harm you. Remember, it is not the thing believed in that hurts or harms you, but the belief or thought in your mind that creates the result. All your experiences, all your actions, and all the events and circumstances of your life are but the reflections and reactions of your own thought. So I feel like that's really good. We're already at 15 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and take us to some of the closing things after this. Okay, it says, your mind is not evil. No force of nature is evil. It depends on how you use the power of nature. Use your mind to bless, heal, and inspire all people everywhere. So it's kind of just like the argument of weapons. A knife by nature is not a bad thing. It's a tool. It's about the person who perceives that knife and the uses for that knife. So if you use that knife to hurt someone, then yes, that could be a bad thing. But the knife objectively is not bad. You could say that the same thing about any weapon. Like, guns are not really bad. They're not necessarily bad in itself. It's a tool that could be used for whatever. You know, it could help save lives. It could be something that's helpful and useful if it's used rightly and in the right hands of a person who's going to use it only when absolutely necessary and beneficial to themselves and others. But on the flip side, it can be very bad because in the wrong hands of someone who is going to abuse the power that you can have with that tool, it can be a bad thing. You build a new body every 11 months. Change your body by changing your thoughts and keeping them changed. So if you want to change yourself, know that it's possible. If you want a new body, as far as like you want to lose weight, or maybe you want to gain weight, you want to atone weight, maybe you just want to change who you are mentally, you can do that. We are always changing, we are always evolving. So with that being known, if you want to change something, change your belief and keep it changed. Continue to affirm what you want to see. It's a process, okay? Stick with the process. Enjoy your process. When your mind is relaxed and you accept an idea, your subconscious mind goes to work and accept that idea. One thing that I like to do is to meditate in the morning when I first wake up. Sometimes I do this majority of this. I've just started doing this. I think I've been doing it for a little over a month now. And it really helps because, one, I don't have to worry about my mind getting too busy about something that happens during the day, whether it's good or bad. You know how sometimes things they can make you super happy, or some things can annoy you, and that can affect your quality of being able to relax enough to really like plant the seeds that you want to plant in your garden. So doing it when you're either about to go to sleep, or when you're just super calm, or you're having a good day, or you're maybe just to yourself and you have time where you can relax, that's the best time to like change your beliefs. So let's just go to the things to remember, ideas to remember. 1, find out what it is that heals you. Realize that correct directions given to your subconscious mind will heal your mind and body, and might I add, situation if you needed to. 2, develop a definite plan for turning over your requests or desires to your subconscious mind. So an example of that for me is what I just shared for you guys. My definite plan is to impress my subconscious mind by doing meditations in the morning and affirming in the morning while I'm calm, and at night before I go to sleep, and sometimes during the middle of the day, depending on how I'm feeling and how receptive I am to being relaxed. 3, imagine the end desired and feel its reality. Follow it through and you will get definite results. So one thing that's important in the Neville Goddard community is seeing the end result. So for example, if you wanted to take a trip to Barbados, seeing in your mind and imagining in your mind you already being there and it already being done, and focusing on that instead of all of the stuff in the middle, which is not your job, to get you to that end result. 4, decide what belief is. Know that belief is a thought in your mind and what you think you create. So just accept as true that your beliefs are what you think about and ruminate on all day long. 5, it is foolish to believe in sickness or anything that will hurt or harm you. Believe in perfect health, prosperity, peace, wealth, and divine guidance. Self-explanatory. 6, great and noble thoughts upon which you habitually dwell on become great acts. So think great thoughts. Think your greatest thoughts. What's the worst that could happen? You think positively. You know, some people like to say, oh, you can't just do this. You can't just think about something good and it happens. I say, try it. What's the worst that could happen? Sometimes it's the stuff that seems like it should be the hardest that's actually the most simple. But because we get in our own way of thinking that we have to do this, that, and the third, sometimes that's why we don't get things, because it is simple. It is what you think about all day long that determines what actions you take during out the day. If you think about how you want to be a pro athlete every day, automatically your mind is going to start putting that to work. So the action is not a question, because you act based off of what you believe. If you think about something all day long, you're probably more likely than someone who doesn't focus on what they want to take those actions, to get to the gym, to practice on things that are going to make you better. You understand? 7, apply the power of prayer therapy in your life. Choose a certain plan, idea, or mental picture. Unite mentally and emotionally with that idea, and as you remain faithful to your mental attitude, your prayer will be answered. It's just a different way of saying everything that we've been saying. 8, always remember, if you really want the power to heal, you can have it through faith, which means of your working of your conscious and subconscious mind. Faith comes with understanding. 9, blind faith means that a person may give results in healing without any specific understanding of the powers and forces involved. That just goes back to show, because this book is not just about healing, it's about everything. So sometimes you could get things just from blind faith alone. Like, don't ever let somebody take that magic away from you. Sometimes you can blindly believe in something and not have any idea how it's going to happen, and it happens for you. We hear about it all the time. Listen to celebrity stories and people who are in positions that you want to be in, and sometimes they just say, like, I always thought and I always wanted to do this, and then one day, well, this action, all these dots connected, and now here I am. Don't let anybody take away your magic. Don't let anybody tell you or make you believe that you have to do a million different things in order to be good enough to receive good things in life, because good things are available to us all the time, and it's in your best interest to believe in that. Okay. 10, learn to pray for your loved ones who may be ill. Quiet your mind. Your thoughts of health, vitality, perfection operating through one's universal subjective mind will be felt and made manifest in the mind of your loved one. This applies for everything, not just health. If you want to see somebody be more financially successful, you can meditate on that for them. You can pray for them in that way. And last thing, you will avoid conflict between your conscious and subconscious in a sleepy state. Imagine the fulfillment of your desire over and over again prior to sleep. Sleep in peace and wake in joy. This is important because sometimes it's harder to believe things when your mind is so active. Like, you want to be having these ideas and like transferring these thoughts into the universe when you're not going to be like trying to fight them at every turn, you know? So that's why doing things in your drowsy state is important. If you want this book, I have it linked down in the description. I always have books linked down in the description, so you can definitely check that out, buy it for yourself, love it for yourself. You can also listen to this whole book on YouTube. There's plenty of audio readings. Pick one that you like and you can read through it if you're interested in just skipping ahead and learning more about the power of your subconscious mind. Also, you can always check out my Patreon and things down below. I use that Patreon for my creative endeavors and just anything that I want to put on there. If you want more of me, you can also follow me on socials. You could buy merch to support me. You could listen to my music because I am an artist as well. And as always, stay posh and stay cute. I'll see you guys in the next one, and we'll see you on Wednesday to not finish up this book, but continue to affirm. And remember to not be afraid to try things for yourself. Okay? Mwah. Bye.